Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome. My name is Skim and you're on my channel. Today you're joining me for a very special video. Today we're going to be doing a side-by-side comparison of two of my favorite dinosaur games. That would be The Isle and the Archotek Project. Now one of these is very new. Maybe you can guess from the graphics which one is more new. But I'll tell you anyway. It's the Archotek Project is very new. Maybe less than a month old I think at this point at the time of recording this. Whereas the Isle has been around for quite a long time. I think we're working on or over 2 years even. But I hear these guys compared a lot right now, and I wanted to bring them side by side for us so we can get a good accurate representation of what they actually would look like for comparison purposes. So I do want to warn you though that I don't believe it's really quite honestly fair to compare them given the different amount of times that the Isle has been in production in comparison to the Archotek project. But it is important in my opinion to kind of keep an eye on each one of them, what their differences are, what their strengths are, and hopefully going from there and seeing maybe what kind of improvements could be made to either one of them. So first of all, I'll start with the Archotek project. Basically Arco for me, the biggest lack in it is going to have to be, in comparison to the Isle when we're looking at them, is going to have to be the graphics. And you can just kind of tell the Isle with the that's a Utah Raptor, by the way, running up a hill. And the Isle right now, it looks stunning. It's visually gorgeous. It plays really well. The dinosaurs have weight to them, and that's one of my favorite parts about the Isle, is that you can even see it when he's running, that it has weight, as if you're actually moving a pretty large piece of meat, dangerous, deadly meat, through the terrain. Whereas the Archotek project just hasn't been that way for me so far. A lot of the dinosaurs feel a little bit cartoonish. They feel a little bit silly almost, like I'm watching Bugs Bunny and this little guy's meep and running around. So I get it. Perhaps my suspicion is that there may be in fact different audiences for both of these, and I cannot confirm that myself. I would like to hear your opinions down below, but that's kind of my opinion in terms of that. I think that maybe the Archotek project is designed more or less in terms of being a more casual gamer, whereas the Isle is significantly less casual. What I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to break it down to just the Archotek project first, and we're going to take a closer look at this. So it's filling the screen up a little bit, but I wanted to keep that title up there so you know which one I was referring to. Right now, this is the most fun I've had in a dinosaur-related game in a while, because it's just me and a couple other people, and we're just play fighting. We know exactly what we're doing. We're just having a good time. We're trying to just test the different dinosaurs and different models out, and it's quite enjoyable. It's not really like the Isle, honestly, whereas with the Isle you don't have a cross communication between carnivores and herbivores, and that's okay. And in terms of realism, it's certainly more realistic. This game, the Archotek Project, is not something that I would consider to be majorly or supremely realistic in any way at all. But what I did notice is just that it was fun. It was fun to kind of just fool around and get with a group of people and say, hey, you know, let's try this out. Let's try that out. I remember at one point we actually ended up just having mock battles where one of us would pick a certain, you know, we'd like defend the Triceratops baby. And that was a lot of fun. Honestly, the strong suit for me for the Archotek project right now, at least, is the fact that socially speaking, it feels a lot more connected and a lot more enjoyable in a casual, yes, sort of way than the Isle does. And almost more than the Isle ever did. There was a period of time for the Isle earlier on when communication was a little bit easier. It was certainly less realistic, but it was almost more based upon the fun. And then survival mode kind of came out for the Isle, and that changed a few things. Now what I wanted to point out quickly though is that the graphics aren't bad. In no way am I saying that the graphics of this game are actually poor graphics. They're relatively good, and considering the amount of time that this game has been in development, I'm fairly impressed. The Isle has come a long way as well, from little bits of grass on the ground to things that actually look like you might be running through an actual environment, a map that's worthy of some serious consideration. And you can see here that the T-Rex does feel like it has a little bit of weight to it when it's running. The little guys didn't feel very realistic at all. And you know, there's some model stuff that I think is certainly more appealing about the Isle than it is here, but it doesn't feel wrong and it doesn't feel unfun. I do think that with some work, the Archotek Project could rival the Isle in terms of how it looks. But now we're going to switch over to the Isle real quick, and this is just to kind of give you a little bit more of another view here. This is on a modded map, and you really can just tell the difference of the quality of video in terms of the graphics is incredible. And again, it's been 2 years, I believe, since the Isle came out, so there's a lot that has changed in time. Right now, I'm running with the Gallimimus, just trying to get some cool scenery in on the Grim Expanse map, and it's not. I can't talk to this person. I'm not trying to play with this person. I'm not gonna ask them, hey, like, how's your day? Like, do you want to play around? Do you want to test some different dinosaurs? No, really. I'm gonna test this guy, and I'm gonna kind of give him the run and see how he's reacting to me and how I'm reacting to him. And part of the reason in the Isle, you just don't really feel that sense of camaraderie. It's not really, in my opinion at least, and of course, feel free to disagree. Let me know if you do disagree in the comments. But the Isle to me isn't necessarily about making friends on the server and expanding and growing together, or having different games or different projects that you guys work on. The Isle for me is strictly survival, and then sometimes it's not even just survival. Sometimes it's almost cruelty. And right here, I'm trying to jump on this rock. I saw that guy get up on the rock. It's like, I like that vantage point. I want to go ahead and get up there. I wasn't able to. But it's just, visually speaking, it's so stunning. The dinosaurs all feel like they have weight. Even the little dinosaurs, you feel like you're actually moving, like you're going somewhere. Whereas in terms of just the Archotek Project, it's not really quite the same. It's feels a little bit more like a game, and less realistic, less like real life. And not saying that we don't have dinosaurs in real life, unfortunately, but you can totally tell the difference between the Isle and the Archotek Project here. I just want to put them side by side for you guys, and I really want to hear your thoughts below. Have you tried out the Archotek Project yet? Have you tried out the Isle? If so, let me know which one you thought was more enjoyable. And when you talk about enjoyable, don't just think about visually speaking. Think about what did you like as well more. The Archotek Project was pretty fun for me, and I did enjoy it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.